Coming up on the Daily O, the first execution in the state this year.
And dispute over a case gaining national attention, now with a second Stillwater teen. All this and more is coming up. The Daily O starts now.
Good evening and welcome to the Thursday edition of the Daily O. I'm Addison McBride.
And I'm Reagan Lee. We're glad you're with us. This morning, the state of Oklahoma executed a man convicted in a 2006 drive-by shooting that killed 2 men in Oklahoma City.
Kendrick Simpson spent 19 years on death row for the murders of Glenn Palmer and Anthony Jones after a fight at a nightclub. Prosecutors say Simpson followed the men for 3 miles and fired about 20 shots from an AK-style rifle into their car.
The Oklahoma Pardon and Parole Board denied clemency last month despite Simpson's apology to the families. Attorney General Gentner Drummond called Simpson a ruthless killer and says justice has been served.
While the saga surrounding the widely criticized Jessie Butler case continues, a second case involving a Stillwater teen is moving forward far more aggressively. 18-year-old Canyon Porter is facing first-degree rape and strangulation charges. Court documents state Porter, then 17, is accused of assaulting a 16-year-old girl last November. The teen testified during a preliminary hearing, describing her relationship with Porter and the events of that morning. The case draws comparisons to the high-profile Jessie Butler case, where a plea deal allowed victims to avoid testifying. Prosecutors are now opposing Porter's request for youthful offender status, a position different from Butler's case last year. Porter's case continues next month.
With the legislative session in Oklahoma kicking off, many bills that didn't make the cut last year could be back in play.
One of those being House Bill 2030, which raises awareness payments for the foster care system.
William Manziel gives us a glimpse on how those payments work and how the state is falling behind.
17 years. That's how long Tobin Orwick spent living in and out of Oklahoma foster care. When they weren't living with their drug-using mother, they lived in one of 13 different foster homes, which they say took a mental toll.
You get to the point where you're going from place to place, you don't feel like you've got a place.
But there was one positive Tobin found in foster care, a sense of financial security they didn't have otherwise.
I had clothes when I needed clothes. If something happened and I needed to go to the ER, I wasn't worried about whether or not I'd be able to pay that off.
While Tobin has since aged out of the system, today there are nearly 6,000 Oklahoman children in foster care. The Oklahoma Department of Human Services pays a monthly reimbursement stipend to foster parents, like Brandy Galarno, so they can financially provide for their kids.
Generally, we use it to pay all the necessity bills like utilities, groceries in the house, if he needs new clothes.
Oklahoma's monthly reimbursement rate is about $532 for children aged 0 to 5, about $613 for ages 6 to 12, and about $679 for ages 13 and older. While these stipends can relieve some monetary pressure, they don't seem to be keeping up with America's financial climate. Oklahoma's government has recently made strides to increase reimbursement rates through the introduction of House Bill 2030. The bill, authored by Representative Nick Archer, aims to raise stipends for Oklahoma foster parents by $5 per day, so about $150 a month.
It puts us back on a path where that fiscal burden is not almost 30% inflated in today's money.
This bill isn't cheap, however. To raise traditional foster care rates, the state must also raise rates for all associated programs. This requirement comes from a 2011 federal court settlement over Oklahoma's previous supposed treatment of children in foster care. The state has since been cleared of issues, but the added condition brings the bill's total impact cost to $48.2 million a year. Even with the federal government covering 47% of that, that leaves a $25.7 million yearly cost on state government. The bill passed the House but stalled in the Senate, failing to reach a vote before the end of the last legislative session. But Archer is likely to reintroduce the bill in the current legislative session so it can be revisited. But whether that raise comes or not, there will always be foster kids, like Tobin was, who need the foster care system.
It got me through a lot. I don't know where I'd be right now if I did stay with my mom all these years. probably way worse off.
William Manzel, The Daily O.
The Oklahoma Department of Human Services is now slashing its child care subsidy budget request by nearly $50 million.
DHS leaders say the reduced amount is the minimum needed to keep the program stable under current funding constraints. But cutting the budget means House Bill 2030 has lower odds of passing.
Some lawmakers warn the changes could lower income eligibility for families and put additional strain on child care providers. The final decision now rests with the legislature.
The Oklahoma Senate has unanimously approved House Bill 1484, also known as Raines Law, requiring fentanyl awareness education in public schools. The bill mandates annual training for students in grades 6 through 12, covering addiction prevention and local support resources. The measure is named after 19-year-old Rain Reese, who died in 2023 after taking a Xanax laced with fentanyl. Lawmakers passed the bill with an emergency clause, meaning it would take effect immediately if signed by the governor. The bill now returns to the House before heading to the governor's desk.
Continuing with legislation, an Oklahoma Senate committee has unanimously advanced a bill that would ban child marriage in the state. Senate Bill 504 would remove current law that allows 16 and 17-year-olds to marry with parental consent, effectively raising the minimum age for marriage to 18. The Senate Judiciary Committee approved the measure with a 7-0 vote. The bill now heads to the Senate for full consideration.
It was a beautiful day here in Stillwater, but will those conditions stick around this evening? Zach Berger is in the Weather Center with our evening forecast. Zach?
Yeah, Addison, it definitely is looking like it's staying that way because right now as we sit, it's a nice 68 degrees here in Stillwater. It was quite a windy day, but those winds have cooled down to just about a 4-mile-per-hour wind out of the southeast, making that real feel just 68 as the actual temperature. So as we look across campus, it's those clear, cloudy skies that we've been seeing. No ice on the ground like last week. Just a nice day. Go have a walk, right? Go around Boomer Lake on campus. Just do something outside because it's some nice temperatures at 68 degrees. And girls, you might want to do it now before this weekend when you might not be able to get that walk in.
I don't know if I'll have time to get that walk in before tonight, but I can attest it was a beautiful day outside.
It was beautiful, and well, I'll see what I can do. I love a good boomer walk.
When we return, how Oklahoma is making a first for the country.
And an argument between governor and president. We have more on what the feud entails. The Daily O returns right after this.
Hi, welcome to Sugar Llamas.
Well, I'm the owner of Sugar Llamas here in Stillwater. My name is Chad O'Rourke. We want to create a customer-centric culture and create an experience for our customers when they come in. Our ice cream in particular, you can get it other places, but I'm only aware of like one other place besides the Sugar Llama in the state of Oklahoma that you can get it. We actually ship it in from up north, but when it comes to our coffee, you cannot get Sugar Llama coffee anywhere else in the world. You might find a blend similar to it, but you're not going to get Sugar Llama coffee anywhere but a Sugar Llama. It is proprietary to us. We really actually want to get more involved within our community. It's not just about making money, but it's about serving our community and becoming a part of the community here.
Ace in the Bowl salsa started many years ago. I was trying to find a recipe to take to a family gathering, and so I started messing around with different recipes, and I took a little bit from here and a little bit from there, and I came up with a salsa that is truly unique. Ace in the Bowl salsa is an olive oil based salsa with tomatoes, green chilies, green onions, and black olives. There's no sugar added, it's gluten free, low calorie, low carb, low fat, low sodium. So it's a very good alternative to any snack you may want. As of right now, I'm just looking to be in Oklahoma and having a successful business within the state. If my grandkids could ever take it over when they're old enough, that would be my dream.
In a positive move for the state, Oklahoma has become the first to join a federal initiative to increase foster homes in the United States. The initiative, Home for Every Child, aims to find more permanent housing for children in foster care. Governor Kevin Stitt says there are over 3,000 less children in foster care than in recent years, but reports show there are still over 5,000. Oklahoma's child welfare director says the state is trying to reduce the amount of children entering the foster care system through community and faith-based partnerships, keeping kids safely in their homes.
Drama coming out between Oklahoma and Washington, as President Donald Trump is publicly criticizing Oklahoma Governor Kevin Stitt over a disputed claim about invitations to the White House. Stitt, who chairs the National Governors Association, says the White House planned to limit invitations to its annual meeting to Republican governors only. Following that statement, 18 Democratic governors announced they would boycott a traditional White House dinner. In a post on Truth Social, Trump called Stitt's claim false, saying invitations were sent to all governors except those of Colorado and Maryland. The NGA has since said it will no longer facilitate a formal meeting with the president.
Well, we've had a bit of a dry spell here in Oklahoma, but it looks like some rain may be on the way. Let's check in with Zach, who's been watching our radars. Zach?
Yeah, Reagan, you're absolutely right. But the real question is how we're going to get there. So let's start with tonight. From here on out, we're just going to still see that cloud coverage here in Stillwater. Nothing too crazy, dropping those temperatures like we talked about, but still a pretty simple rest of your night. But as we go into Friday, we will see some things start to change. Now, when you're waking up Friday morning, still that cloud coverage, right? Temperatures going down throughout your day, going to be fine, nice and cloudy. But as we get towards that night, some rain pods are going to start to pop up around the western part of the United States and go towards the middle. As you see there, Tulsa, Bartlesville, all the way up into Stillwater, around 5 or 6 p.m. is when this is going to hit, and it's going to hit hard. It's really heading up towards Wichita, but that main cell will spread all the way towards northern Oklahoma into Stillwater. So we go into the last day on Saturday, and that rain is going to hold on and carry on there. As you can see, heavy cell up north will hit Stillwater as well. So a couple things I think you need to look out for heading into this weekend. We are going to see that rainy weekend, right? Up north hitting Saturday, Friday night, even into Sunday, we'll see that rain, and that'll bring cooler temperatures, of course, all the way until a thunderstorm type of Saturday. So Reagan Addison might not be a picnic type of Valentine's Day come Saturday.
Yeah, we'll be on the lookout, Zach. Reagan, I'm kind of bummed. We may have to postpone our Galentine's plans.
No, I'm really sad about it.
Well, when we return, an update on ICE in Minnesota.
And government officials testify before the Senate Homeland Security. We'll tell you the details. The Daily O returns right after this.
We would design something, it was set on the counter, and people was either, if enough of them said, you know, this isn't it, it never made to the line. Dad was excited that they're all original. They were all designed on Mom's kitchen table, and it gets in your blood after a while.
We're very happy that Pamela and Michael have taken over the business and kept the family going.
We took the business over in 2017. When we found that it was available, we wanted to keep the legacy of family alive, but it was also incredible products that deserved to be a part of Made in Oklahoma's story. We were a part of Made in Oklahoma years ago, and so it kind of grew as Made in Oklahoma grew.
Oklahoma is ingrained into everything that we did. We've been here most of our life. That's what we entailed our whole business on, was the Oklahoma homegrown feeling.
Deep Fork Foods started in 2014. We started off with our nut products, and now we produce everything from jarred products to cookie mixes and pancake mixes and dried products for people, as well as our spice blends. Now we produce over 168 different products for ourselves and about 20 to 30 other companies in Oklahoma.
I'm Cindy Stewart. I'm one of the owners of Deep Fork Foods. We've gone from just making our own stuff and doing just small things to being able to co-pack and work with other companies and individuals within Oklahoma and across the United States as well.
I'm just really thankful for the journey that we've had so far and really look forward to the future where we're taking Deep Fork Foods and being able to provide more value for Oklahoma and its economy, as well as all the people within the state.
I love the opportunities that being in the food business provides. I absolutely love sharing food and good stories with people, so this just gives us another connection. And I can't wait to see where this path takes us with it.
The Trump administration says it is ending its immigration surge in Minnesota after nearly a 4-month-long occupation. Officials say coordination with local law enforcement and successive immigration enforcement have contributed to the end of Operation Metro Surge. The announcement comes a week after federal authorities shot and killed 2 U.S. citizens, sparking outrage around the nation and the world. Immigration officers have arrested 4,000 people since the operation began, but the DHS did not provide the breakdown of how many of those had criminal charges.
Top Trump immigration officials and Minnesota state leaders are testifying at a hearing today before the Senate Homeland Security and Governmental Affairs Committee. Many Democrats on the committee have pressed Todd Lyons, acting director of ICE, and Rodney Scott, commissioner of Customs and Border Protection, during these hearings on clashes with protesters, including the shooting deaths of 2 American citizens. The Republicans on the committee have largely defended federal actions and highlighted threats against enforcement officers. It has also been revealed that the Trump administration is dramatically expanding its effort to revoke U.S. citizenship and foreign-born Americans as it works to curb immigration.
Investigators are combing through the desert terrain near the home of Nancy Guthrie, who has now been missing for 11 days. Earlier this week, a man was detained for questioning but released without charges after speaking with investigators. The Pima County Sheriff's Department says it has filed thousands of calls since the FBI released security photos and videos from the morning Guthrie disappeared. It seems as though investigators are looking for someone who drives a truck. As Guthrie's neighbor says, detectives have come to his house twice and asked if he has one.
The 2026 Winter Olympics are still ongoing, and there's been some movement on the leaderboard. Italy finally passed Norway after occupying second place for multiple days in a row, with it receiving a grand total of 17 medals. Norway fell to second with 14, though it holds more gold medals than Italy. The United States rose to third and is holding that spot with 14 medals, 4 gold, 7 silver, and 3 bronze. Austria rests right behind the U.S. with 12 medals, and in 5th place is Japan with 10 medals.
How Cowgirl softball is faring at the Clearwater Invitational. Mason Humpner has that and more in the Sports Corner right after this.
My name's Dennis Abernathy. Lived here since 1968, and I consider myself one of Stillwater's oldest original family jewelers. Here at Dennis the Jeweler, we're more about personal service. My father always told me that anybody can sell the jewelry, and what we're doing is completely different, learning to do the repair work. That is one thing that will keep your business alive, because anybody can sell it, but not anybody can fix it. To me, jewelry is very, very personal. Every piece of jewelry has its own story, and I get to hear hundreds of stories from my clients, which I love to hear. There's always a story with it. I mean, you buy a piece of jewelry for a show of appreciation, a sign of love. There are a lot of different aspects for jewelry when you purchase it.
My wife lived east of here, about 35, 40 miles, something like that, over at Lamont. I was dating her from over at Alba when we were going to college. I knew about the well then. It was a great well. It was great water. I'd stop there, stick my head under it, wake up, drive on home, that kind of thing. And people talked about bottling this water. And so that's why I started thinking about doing that. And so in 2003, the property come up for sale. And so we started working on that, had the opportunity to buy it. The hopes are when folks drink our water is that they'll drink it for a few days and find out the difference. They'll start feeling better because there's been no chemical in our water. There's a list of good things that we have. We don't have any bad things in it. This company means a lot to me because I guess we started it from scratch. And to be able to have it where it's at today, I don't see this as the end at all. I see the future of Divine Water as being worldwide, which will bring outside dollars into the state. It means a lot to me because I started it, I guess, and our family started it.
Back to the Daily O. Come on in and sit on down because you We're in the Sports Corner. I'm Mason Humphrey. Let's talk sports. Cowgirls softball starts their second tournament with a tough doubleheader today. Game 1, 23rd ranked Cowgirls pulling out a tight upset over 17th ranked Georgia. OSU was actually crushing for most of the game, being up 6-0 after 5 innings, highlighted by an Amanda Hausler 3-run shot. But after Riley Crandall pitched a scoreless 4 innings, Ruby Malin came in and gave up 5 runs in the last 2 innings. But the Cowgirls were able to stop the comeback for their first ranked win of the season. Then in Game 2, an even tougher task of 10th ranked LSU resulted in a 9-4 loss. Tigers bounced out to a quick lead with a 2-run shot and didn't look back. Cowgirls rallied together a couple runs, but it just wouldn't be enough. They now prepare for Game 3 tomorrow morning against Texas A&M. Staying on the diamond, Cowboy baseball is down in Arlington getting ready to hit the field for the first time this season. Preston P-Town Hudlow takes us around the diamond to tell us about their tough opening weekend.
Yeah, that's right, Hump. They're going to be down in Arlington, Texas for the Shriners Children College Showdown for debatably their toughest stretch of the season against some pretty tough opponents, but let's get right into it. Game 1 will be against Arkansas tomorrow, and they actually met last time 2 years ago with the Cowboys winning 2-1 and 14. Yeah, that's right, 14 innings. And for Saturday's game, we have the Bedlam matchup, the last time they met with the Cowboys losing 1-11 and 8 innings. And then for Sunday, they go up against Vanderbilt, the last time they met being back in 2023, with the Cowboys losing a close one 9-11. Now, in terms of this roster, we have some returners, we have some important transfers. Let's get right into it. For our big returns, we have Adam Miola, the veteran infielder, back via medical redshirt. Then we have Colin Brueggemann, the senior slugger. Then we have Colin Ritchie, he had a big regional game against Georgia last year. And we have the sophomore Brock Thompson. And now for our pretty important transfer, we have debatably our new starter and pitcher, the left-handed pitcher from UC Santa Barbara, Hudson Barrett. He was actually an All-American as a freshman. Then we have the SEC catcher from Ole Miss, Campbell Smithwick. Then we have Kai Fike, the right-handed pitcher from Central Arizona CC. Then we have the two-way player from Clemson, T.P. Wentworth. Now, once again, these are pretty tough opponents, but it does give an opportunity to see what these new faces will look like in the orange and black against the big boys. That's all I have from around the diamond. Back to you, Humph.
A top 10 matchup is set on the dirt tomorrow. Number 6, Cowgirl Equestrian taking on 7th-ranked TCU. OSU sitting at 5-1 on the season and haven't lost since the first match of the season. But that loss was to the Horned Frogs. But it's already been a historic start to the season for the Pokes, as they've won 4 of their first 5 matches, which they haven't done since winning the national championship in the 2021-22 season. First event starts at 1 p.m. tomorrow. Going back to baseball, pitchers and catchers have been reporting for MLB spring training. Florida and Arizona just got a whole lot busier as Major League Baseball teams get back into top season shape. And while for vets it's a warm-up, for up-and-comers it's a chance to prove themselves for more playing time or a big league's roster spot. You can keep an eye out for some pro pokes to make names for themselves during this month of play. Over 10 pro pokes will be at spring training, highlighted by Justin Robleski, Nolan McLean, and Carson Bench. So keep a lookout for some of our former favorite Cowboys this March. Well, that's all we have today from the Sports Corner, but don't touch that mouse. Fresh chopped brisket on the board could be coming to Oklahoma very soon. Addison and Reagan have it right after this.
I'm Travis Taylor. I'm the general manager for the Hotel Indigo Tulsa Downtown. I have a real good understanding of the food scene in Tulsa, and I've loved to see the way it's evolved over the years, and I'm glad to be part of it.
My name's Kevin Kyle. I'm the executive chef. I started here, the idea was to do something local. Everything that we try to do has Oklahoma products.
Tulsa is a big oil boom when we were the oil capital in the early 1900s. How Route 66 put Tulsa on the map. And the menu around that was, well, what would an oil worker take out in their lunchbox? That's how Prospect kind of came from.
We never get crazy busy, so we can do a lot of different things with food. And we can do things like wine dinners and have local dinners. We have a private dining room that people can come.
I think being at the heart of the old Route 66 has kind of weighed into us getting a lot of different things brought in from different areas of the United States. When I taste something on our menu for the first time, the first thing I go is, that's Tulsa.
Familiar Harry Potter villain is now a mascot in China. Kennedy Quill has the details in your A-List update. Kennedy?
That's right, Reagan. Chinese New Year is right around the corner, and this year is the year of the horse. Each year, China chooses a symbol of fortune, and this year's symbol is Draco Malfoy, a villain from Harry Potter's Wizarding World. The good fortune is in the name Malfoy, translated to Ma-Er-Fu in Mandarin. The first word means horse, and the third refers to good fortune. Together, Malfoy's sounds like horses bringing good fortune. Harry Potter has been a huge hit in China, with 10 million copies sold and 27.6 million raised in China's box office. That's all for me. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks, Kennedy. Could Buc-ee's finally be headed to Oklahoma? Rumors are swirling that the Texas-based travel center giant has had preliminary discussions about a location near I-40 and Cimarron Road between Yukon and El Reno. Economic development leaders confirm there have been early discussions, but stress that no decisions have been made. Buc-ee's hasn't confirmed any plans, and local and county leaders say they haven't seen anything official just yet. Still, the possibility of beaver nuggets, brisket sandwiches, and those endless aisles of snacks has the state buzzing.
If you need an excuse for a little extra kindness today, here it is. It's National Hug Day. The day is meant to encourage people to show affection and appreciation for friends and family. Experts say hugging can help reduce stress, lower blood pressure, and boost feelings of connection. So if you've got someone who could use a little love today, go ahead and share one.
Wow, that's nice, Reagan. Well, before we go back, let's head back to the Weather Center where Zach has our 7-day forecast. Zach.
Yeah, Addison. As we look across the rest of this week, we're going to start with those continuous cooler temperatures, the highs in the 70s and lows in those low 40s tonight, but mid 50s next week. And then, hey, we talked about it. That rain is coming along. So Friday, you're going to see that rainfall into Saturday with those thunderstorms. So be on the lookout for that. Now, I know Sunday says sunny, but still about a 50% chance of rain as we go throughout that day. Now let's look at the rest of that week, right? Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, sun comes back out, rain goes away, and weather continues to rise. 72 high on Monday, 77 high on Tuesday, and 76 on Wednesday. Now guys, I gotta go back to the Buc-ee's story because I'm a Houston, Texas native. I drive through 3 Buc-ee's on my way up to Stillwater, so I wouldn't mind a 4th.
Yeah, nothing wrong with, trying to manhandle with one hand a double XL chopped brisket sandwich going down I-40.
Yeah.
I can't relate. I don't understand the hype, you guys.
Come on.
Well, I'm also a native Texan. I do love a good Buc-ee's, but honestly, I don't know if I see one in Oklahoma, y'all. Nothing has been confirmed. So we'll see.
Yeah.
Something to look forward to.
I do have a question. Did Mason's Fresh Brisket on the board sell you at all, though?
I kind of want to try it. I'm tempted. I think I might have to make a visit.
Do it one more time. Do it.
Fresh chopped brisket on the board.
That sold me.
Sold me too.
Same here.
This doesn't work out.
Yeah.
Exactly. On that note, that is a look at today's headlines. Thank you for joining us.
Make sure to check out the Daily O tomorrow and for the rest of the week for the latest happening here in Stillwater and across the state. For the Daily O, I'm Reagan Lee.
And I'm Addison McBride. Have a great night, everyone.
My wife lived east of here, about 35, 40 miles, something like that, over at Lamont. I was dating her from over at Alba when we were going to college. I knew about the well then. It was a great well. It was great water. I'd stop there, stick my head under it, wake up, drive on home, that kind of thing. And people talked about bottling this water. And so that's why I started thinking about doing that. And so in 2003, the property come up for sale. And so we started working on that, had the opportunity to buy it. The hopes are when folks drink our water is that they'll drink it for a few days and find out the difference. They'll start feeling better because there's been no chemical in our water. There's a list of good things that we have. We don't have any bad things in it. This company means a lot to me because I guess we started it from scratch. And to be able to have it where it's at today, I don't see this as the end at all. I see the future of Divine Water as being worldwide, which will bring outside dollars into the state. It means a lot to me because I started it, I guess, and our family started it.
Thank you for coming to Stay and Play Pet Resort. This is where we can board your pet at any time for your convenience and make them feel at home. We have 5 different kennels for your pet. We have luxury suites that come with TV, camera, fireplace. The webcam is at your free. We have Kitty City where you can board your cat for multiple different prices. Stay and Play Pet Resort offers a free chauffeur service. If you go to Baker Animal